Okay, so we're here once again in Sword Factory X, and for today's video I thought I'd go over some things that I want to see in some new updates in the game that might bring some really fun things to the game, as well as just kind of spice up the game and make it stand out from the rest. So yeah, I'm basically going to be going over some of the things that I want to see added to the game, some new features and just some new overall things. So let's just get straight into it. So obviously, as you guys know, some of my past videos have been covering things like the enchants and stuff, and it's been things like new enchants that could be added to the game, as well as just ranking all of the enchants and stuff like that. However, I genuinely think we need some more and new enchants in the game that are really going to spice things up. Now obviously the main one that people want to see is a luck enchant, which is basically going to add some more luck when you have the sword in the ascender and stuff like that, which is obviously going to be really good, especially for those people who are going for maybe some really good OP damage swords, or maybe those people who are trying to get some really valuable swords as well. So that'd be a really good thing, just to see some new enchants in the game, especially like luck ones, which will just spice up the game because everybody loves having more luck, or at least the chance of having more luck at least. So yeah, honestly, if we got more enchants, it'd be super good, because then realistically, once we get some really good enchants, people might start to actually use the sell station a little bit more, instead of just kind of letting things just kind of go over here and just sell around and stuff. You might actually see people watching it just to kind of pick up a really good sword that might come through. And obviously we do have the sus enchant right now, which some people obviously will be grinding to get, and maybe watching the sell station and stuff just to see if it happens and stuff. But honestly, I think we need some more ones, and maybe some pretty hard ones, but obviously not 1 in 5 billion difficulty. Maybe something more like 1 in 1 million, 1 in 100,000, stuff like that, just to really spice things up and make the enchants just a little bit more worth it in the game. Now moving on, and another thing that we need added is some more molds. So obviously right now there is quite a lot of molds, however I don't think anyone's really gotten past anything like crystal or anything else. So all of these ones that are really down here right now, honestly just aren't even worth it, just because of the fact that they're not even that obtainable in the game right now. So honestly, I would like to see some more molds in the game, just to kind of fill in the spaces and stuff, and also just bring some more variety and stuff, because as you can see, if we come over to our quality list real quick, as you can see there's so many qualities, and there's not really a massive jump anywhere between any of these. And obviously this one here, from 1 in 5,000 to 1 in 15,000, is nothing compared to the 1 in 5,000 to the 1 in 45,000 here, which is obviously a massive 40,000 jump. And even from that 1 in 45,000 to nearly 1 in 400,000, and then to 1 in 3.5 million, and so on and so forth. So I really think that some of these spaces need to be filled, such as the gaps between maybe amethyst and diamond, just to add something new to the game and make some things worth grinding for in the ascender and stuff, just to make it a little bit more, I guess you could say, more obtainable and stuff. And obviously the more molds you add, it means that more people are going to be grinding the game just to try and get these new molds and stuff. So I think they should really try and get some new molds in the game, just to fill in these spaces, just to make it a little bit more fun when we are upgrading our swords and stuff, and honestly just to make it a lot easier as well, because a massive jump from 1 in 45,000 to 1 in 400,000 is just ridiculous. And obviously as well with the value multipliers as well, there's definitely room in between these, because again, for a 450 times value multiplier to a 720,000, maybe just stick a random 600 times one right in the middle of there, maybe a 550 times, just to make it a little bit more better for when we come to upgrade our molds, and just to kind of take the weight off of the quality list. Because honestly, I think in terms of value swords, the quality list is definitely the most important one, just because there's more qualities in the game that are obtainable, and it just makes it a little bit easier. So I definitely think there should be some more molds, just to fill in all of these spaces. Now another thing that I really want to see added into the game, and we did actually discuss this when it came to talking about possible explanations and theories for this massive portal, is a story mode or a dungeon questing that could be added to the game. Now obviously, again, when it comes to a lot of Roblox games now, they really do lack a story, and it's just kind of you go in and just kind of play the game and then leave without really much explanation as to why anything's really there. So honestly, a story mode for this game would seriously kickstart this game, and I think it would make it so much better. Now obviously a story mode is going to take a long time to develop and just write and everything, but once a story mode is created for this game, and if they do keep consistent updates going on whilst they are writing a story out and stuff, and keep this game to at least like the level that it's at right now, obviously it's averaging out at like 3,000 to 5,000 players, which is still a lot. But honestly, if they start to get a story mode into the game, I think they start to see a lot more players joining, just because everybody loves a good story every now and again. And when it comes to Roblox, it's going to be something completely new, because when it comes to story modes and stuff like that in games, it's just kind of a story game, and that's kind of it. It's not really got anything to it, it's just a narrative game, and then that's it. But honestly, you never see simulator games or like games like this basically have any story to them, so honestly I think this would definitely propel the game just to absolute stardom if this game had a story mode. And honestly I don't really know how it could play out. There's so many different possibilities and explanations and just different ways the story could go, but yeah, I definitely want to see a story mode in this game, just because it would make it so much more fun, and it would keep a lot of players in the game, because it's going to be something that's going to be really cool to play, and maybe it will have replayability and just have so many players just playing it over and over and over again, whether it's having rewards or just having a great story overall. Yeah, I definitely think this game needs a story mode just to really give it that extra boost and just make it just one of the best games ever on Roblox. Now, obviously with a story mode, we'd obviously need more rewards and stuff, so maybe that could bring in along something like I don't know, obviously we do have boosts right now. However, obviously we could have some other things, maybe like some relics and stuff, that can obviously be used as boosts, or maybe something that's like a permanent boost. Say you get a relic and it's just like a constant permanent boost that could actually drop from like a boss or something, maybe like an extreme boss, obviously not the extreme rarity type of boss, but just like a really hard boss that comes from the story mode. Then you can have things dropping like relics and stuff just to add something new to the game, because obviously right now with Sword Factory X, overall, I guess you could technically say it is still exactly like just other Sword Factory versions, just because it doesn't have anything that's completely out of the water, that's completely different from the game. Now obviously again with the story mode, it'd be great, but even if they just add things like relics or just something different, something like a collectible that can aid someone into becoming better in the game, or just for something that could be like have tradability just because it's super rare or something, that'd be really good. And again, it could just be completely cosmetic and just kind of like be like a sort of statue in your world or something that obviously then could be traded and stuff for different things, just because then it's going to have players grinding the game more, because everybody loves just getting something new. So honestly, again, relics and statues, something like that, just something that's like even just cosmetic that can be sitting in your world, would be a super good way to add something to the game without exactly changing the game too much. Obviously again, adding relics that will like give you permanent boosts and stuff will obviously be quite a big game changer. So maybe if they are just completely cosmetic, honestly it's going to be a complete game changer while still actually keeping the game the same and not affecting anyone who doesn't actually want to play for those items and stuff. So yeah, again, relics, cosmetic items and stuff like that, just to kind of add something to the game, is going to be another thing that everyone's going to love. Now, one last thing that I do want to say is maybe something that is like, obviously we've had games before like Mining Simulator and stuff like that have had hats in the game and pets in the game that are just going to like kind of give you that extra boost. Now obviously I'm not asking for pets in this game because every game has pets and stuff, but maybe something different. Maybe obviously you can have the hats and maybe even the relics and stuff that will give you these little added boosts. They could be like small boosts, say you give you like a 1.1 times damage boost, which will still be really good because you're getting more damage and stuff, but obviously then it's not going to be super overpowered. But honestly, I think that would be a really good thing in the game, just again for something to play for, something to grind towards, just to get yourself better as well, just a new thing to grind with and for, just other than just obviously getting money and upgrading your swords and stuff. That'd be a super good thing. And I think one thing that we really do need is something that's going to kind of like sit in between us waiting for quad spawns and upgrading your swords. Because obviously right now you're more or less joining the game, you might sit around and chat for a little while, and then you'll just go AFK, wait for your sword to upgrade or wait for a quad spawn to happen or something, and then you'll go for it, and then you just kind of leave it for a little bit and then come back to it later again. So having something in between, now obviously this again could be a story mode, it could be grinding for relics and stuff or cosmetic items, just something like that, just to have something in between that's going to keep players actually playing the game instead of just sitting around and AFKing. because again it's going to add something really good to the game. And obviously for those mobile players that can't exactly sit here around and just AFK all the time, they will stay in the game again just to then grind the game even further, just because there's something new to grind in the game. So that's basically the things that I want to see added into the game. If we're quickly going over it again, I want really more enchants. We need some more moles just to kind of fill out these gaps. A story mode that could have so many different possibilities. Maybe some cosmetic items that can just like spice up your world a little bit, just have something completely unique in the world. Like relics and hats and stuff that will give you these little permanent boosts, such as like 1.1 times damage or 1.1 times cash, just to kind of have something more to grind towards. And yeah, there's so many different possibilities for this game and so many different ways this game can go. It's going to be insane if some of these things are added. But yeah, the realistic ones are probably the more enchants and more molds, and the last three where the story mode, the cosmetic items and relics and stuff and hats probably won't be added for a long time, at least anyways. And if they are added, I would be super happy anyway. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.